Hello, everyone, and welcome to our learning adventure. I just wanted to provide a little bit um, of a video for you to view. One, to see that yes, I am here, even though we're in an online environment, and I will be instructing our course for the next 5 weeks. So please view the aspects of this video while I point out some of the importance of our course, and I look forward to working with you all throughout the 5 week period that we are together. So here, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see, make sure I have the right course. Okay, so here we are in the Moodle environment. That's our learning management system. And as I said, this is INT1109. So hopefully you can hear me fine. I didn't test my mic, but it seems like it's okay. And this course is prepare students to cover industry concepts underlying design of and implementation of databases and database applications. So if this is what you expected, I mean, we will have it's a pretty good amount of information that I will convey to you and that you're tasked to learn. The first thing that I would like for you to focus on under instructor announcements, where this video, hopefully you've accessed this video via the announcements. As you can see, there are several links in here that will take you to pertinent information about the course, everything from due dates to some videos, etc., that will point out how you can be a successful student. Let's see, the one thing I do want to point out, there's a grading rubric for the discussion questions, particularly. If you click on this link, there's a little video you can watch, and then basically the requirements that you need to abide by when you're submitting your responses to the discussion question. Let's see what else. So I just wanted to point out, make sure you go through all of the links in the instructor announcements, and that will give you a very good start on the course. Okay, back on the main page, we also have course introductions. I have my intro here, the about me. Go ahead and read that. It gives you a snippet of my life and my journey as far as an academic professional. And I welcome you to add your intros in here as well, so I can learn a little bit about you. Also in this top section, there's an, are you feeling partly cloudy? That's our way of, do you have any, asking you if you have any questions about the course. And basically it's a forum that everyone can read. So when you post in there, and remember, when you ask a question in here, it's probably a question that everyone is wanting to ask, but have hesitated to actually ask the question. So it's a good area to find more information about things that you may not understand. All right, and that's the essentially kind of the I would say important part, but not required as far as information and activities for the course. Obviously, there's a syllabus. Our syllabi are pretty rudimentary. Of course, this one, hopefully it will show up. Oh, it's a download. So when you click on it, it downloads a PDF. And as you can see, our syllabi are pretty basic, just informs you the number of credit hours. It does say the course length is 6 weeks, but that's the old legacy model. This course is, and this mod that you're in now will be a 5-week experience. So I will make sure that that is revised so you're not confused. In this course, we will use an ebook created by Cengage instead of Microsoft Access, which is the Microsoft database project. I'm not going to click on the link now because the ebook has not been activated yet. So basically, this is where you will access the ebook and the portions of the ebook. You just click on that link, or as you'll see, the associated links in each of the appropriate sections or lessons. And as I said, this course, and I'm scrolling through this very fast, but this course goes through a 5-lesson scenario, essentially 5 weeks per, or 1 week per lesson, with a total of 5 weeks. And I'm just going to briefly go through lesson 1. I'll have an overview each week because you have quite a bit of reading and components that you definitely should take a look at. Especially this first part of the course if you have never dealt with databases. So some of the topics that make up lesson 1, characteristics of a database table, database keys, table relationships, database integrity, dependency and determinants, and anomalies and normalization, all fun database terms, naming conventions, creating a blank database, creating and saving a table, entering field names and records. So basically, this is the rudimentary or the first part of understanding database. And once again, in the textbook, essentially, you're reading through the appendix of the ebook and going through that tutorial, which is basically showing you how or illustrating how to create your first database. It's very, very useful because you'll need to know that as you get more into the lesson. There's a very, very good PowerPoint tutorial or presentation. I would definitely view that, take the time to open it up and view it. And then there's some key terms. Key terms are always useful, and it's just a Word doc. So when you click on the link, it will download and it will give you a list of key terms for this particular lesson. There's quite a few. Just understand the basics of these key terms, like what is Microsoft Access, et cetera, what backing up, backstage, contextual tabs. Just read through them. You don't really have to memorize them, but just read through them and make sure you are aware of them. You can always reference your tutorial key terms during your actual required assignments. So then we get into, after all this reading, we get into the graded assignment. So, remember the course is only 5 weeks, and each week I would definitely not skip over the reading because it'll help you when you progress into the graded assignments. So you have 2 discussion questions, and essentially when you click on the link, it'll open up the discussion question and it'll provide the criteria and then basically ask you a question to submit a post to. So you just basically add a new topic and write your response. And remember, there's a grading scenario, a grading rubric associated with that. And so you have 2 of those per week. So, and there, once you read the due date calendar, you see that essentially we're suggesting very strongly that you do 1 discussion question before Wednesday, 1 before Friday, and then do your responses before Sunday. But you can do it whichever way you like. The way that I grade is that yes, there are due dates, but I grade at the end of the week, which means, and I'm not telling you or asking you or recommending that you wait, but still follow. Remember, you have other things to do. So I would definitely, as far as responding to the discussion questions, get in there and do what you need to do right away, at least for the first discussion question. It's pretty straightforward. I closed that. I wanted to read. Essentially, yes, I shouldn't skip over this. You're required to provide a main post and then respond to 2 of your classmates. But in the instructions, the reading discuss, basically important rules of producing a database integrity. These rules are referred to as integrity constraints. Discuss the importance of database integrity, and this is all in the reading. And you probably pull tons of information from the reading and tons of information from the web. And remember, don't, as far as academic integrity, if you reference information from the web, please cite your source and do not copy and paste to satisfy your discussion question requirements. And then step 2, basically we're asking you to read 2 of your classmates and respond to their posts. So that's essentially the criteria for the discussion questions. And it's definitely a good way to learn, good way to think about some of these topics that will definitely help you understand databases and database applications much better. So you do have, two of those to do, and it's different questions. So make sure you read through them, and these are required because these are graded each week. And then you have essentially what we call data files for text. And what these data files are, and you'll find that out. I mean, it's a zip file. Make sure you download it. You're going to eventually end up um, using these data files to create your databases. So just go ahead and just download that file and just save it. And then you have your lesson one, review assignments, and please read these very carefully because it'll tell you exactly what you need to do with that data file. And if you have any questions, please email me and I will definitely answer them. But these instructions are very explicit, and please follow them. If you follow them, without altering the sequence or et cetera, you'll be fine. And you'll get through, the assignment itself, and it will be graded accordingly. So yes, once again, read very carefully, reference the textbook, and make sure you have access to that downloaded data file. Okay, and then back to the main page, main Moodle page. Moodle, as you know, is our learning management system. Again, I'm going a little slow. So that's the next component as far as required assignments. And then you have a case, what we refer to, or what I refer to as a case problem. And basically open that up, read the instructions. I can't stress this enough. And this is just essentially just to give you a synopsis. It's just a way of using what you've learned in this first lesson to actually, perform a task that's gradable. So once again, read the instructions very carefully. If you have any questions, send me an email. I can walk you through, etc. And then you submit basically yeah, I should go over this. Yes. So when you're ready, you submit your answers or your submissions by clicking on that particular link, and it will give you the opportunity to upload your assignment submission. Okay. And once again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And then the final thing, and this seems like a lot, but it really isn't. Once you get started, there's a little test, little quiz. And it's basically normally there, 5 to 10 questions, and you only have one attempt. And I'll say that again, you only have one attempt, and you do have a time limit. So once you start it, you have one attempt and you have an hour. And the only way that we can reset it or provide a way for you to take it again if you truly have technical problems that you can document and send to me so we can go in and reset the test itself. I wouldn't worry too much about the test. It's important. It's an assessment of your knowledge for the lesson. And I'm not telling you not to pay attention to it, but don't stress about it if you don't get a high score. The gist of what we're trying to accomplish is a hands-on scenario here. So most of the weight or the focus of the grading are on those three previous assignments: the discussion questions, the homework, and then the project. Okay. Once again, that's probably the gist of where you would spend most of your time. All right. So I'm probably overwhelmed you with information, but once again, this is a pretty intense class, but it's not too difficult as long as you ask questions and not afraid to dig right in and begin to work. And yes, I'm Dwight, and I'm your instructor for the next 5 weeks. Please feel free, and I do have my contact information in a couple places under Welcome to our course. If you open up that link under instructor announcements, I have my contact information here, and there's several ways to contact me. And then also in my office hours, and under this form as well, there's an office hours link. And the thing with this, we have to post, or I have to post formal office hours, but you can contact me anytime. Leave me a voicemail message, send me an email. I will return your call or respond to your email as soon as possible. So thanks again for listening. This was lengthy, but I wanted to get us started out um, basically on the right foot. And well, I'm looking forward to meeting you all and hope we have a very, very good learning adventure together.